Drum roll, please. It's another market vlog. On September 27th, I will be attending the We Art Market at Clatta Coffee in St. Paul, Minnesota. I heard about this little event through one of my friends, Rory, who is from St. Paul, works in St. Paul, and goes to the coffee shop. She ended up seeing a flyer for the event, sent me the details, and I applied in like early September, and I heard nothing back for a while. So I just kind of thought that I didn't really get in. I got in. I didn't end up hearing back from the people running it until September 21st, so about 6 days before the event. So when I read the email, I was like, oh my gosh, yay! That's in 6 days. What? Anyways, I'm super excited for this event. The booth fee was only $25, and I don't have to bring any tables, any tablecloths, or any chairs. You just can't beat that. Are you kidding me? From what I can tell, there are 7 other vendors, none of which make any amigurumi or crochet. Yes. I love meeting other crochet vendors at events, but because it is such a small event, it's literally called a We Art Market, I was hoping to have my little like Monopoly moment, and so I think that's gonna happen. The market goes from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. From what I've read, there's also going to be live music and maybe like live poetry. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to be at an event with live music. This is going to be in the little alleyway right next to the coffee shop. So it is going to be an outdoor event, and I don't have to bring a tent, a table, chairs, or a tablecloth. Yes, I'm going. As of right now, I have a lot of cushion. I have 176 plushies ready to be purchased for a total worth of $2,966. So I don't really have to crochet a bunch of things for this market. I did end up making a couple of things. If you check out my last video, I think it's this one, I did make a couple of things specifically for this market, but I have a lot of inventory ready to go. So even though I like figured out that I was gonna be in this market 6 days before it, I was fine. Also, my next market isn't until October 18th, so I'll still have like 20 days to restock what sold. So we're fine. This market is going to be a breeze. Hi, I'm Anna, aka Miss A Crochet. I run a small business where I crochet plushies to sell at in-person events. I also design and sell my own crochet patterns online for all of you, and I just enjoy oversharing about my life and crochet and yarn on the internet for everyone's entertainment. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you stumbled your way into my corner of the internet. Make sure to buckle up for the ride and consider subscribing for even more crochet content. If you're a returning viewer, hi. Thank you so much for coming back and now hanging out with me again. I do have a true confession to make. I'm filming this intro after the market, but you're not getting any spoilers from me. You gotta keep watching. But I am filming it after the market because I was sick like the whole week leading up to the market, and I kind of forgot to film an intro before the market. So I'm here now to right my wrongs. I probably, maybe, probably not, could have gotten away with it considering I plan on recording the market breakdown immediately after I hit stop recording. I decided to be such an honest person and tell you all the truth. You're welcome. Now let's go see all the inventory that I plan on bringing to this market. It's the night before the market. Here's what I'm bringing video that I always do in the middle of the night. but this time I'm being smart and I'm doing it in segments. So this segment is hopefully not going to be too long because, I don't know, doing this is like my least favorite part of doing market vlogs, but I know that it's really important. I just don't want to do it. To begin, we have some fruits and vegetables. We have a $20 pineapple. These are all from a pattern test that I did for Tiny Friends Crochet. Also, it's their birthday today, so happy birthday. $20 pineapple, $20 peas in the pod. The other one sold at my last market, and so I'm keeping them at this price. The peas are removable. $13 watermelon. I have another one as well with no blush. Don't really know why. We also have a $13 strawberry with blush, but really I made the blush be the embroidered little spots. A $12 orange, $12 carrots, an $8 radish. That kind of matches my hair in the shadow. 2 $8 blueberries. And an $8 green onion. Now that I have that, I can set this toady down and go through the ones that are on my desk. I have 3 grumpy frogs. I sell each grumpy frog for $13 a piece. This is a pattern by Mama Made Minis. I've brought them to a couple of markets. They haven't sold, but then one did sell to my violin professor through the pictures of the market that I posted online, so I think that's fine. It's more than fine. I have 3 rats. This is a new pattern. I don't think it's a free pattern. I'm not entirely sure. I think the pattern actually says that they're mice, but I'm calling them rats because rats. That was cream. This is the dark gray. And basic light gray rat. We have 6 cats plus a couple more. We have the Pusheen looking cat, a cream one, which might be my favorite just because the whiskers look so cute. Tuxedo, but apparently not tuxedo cat, who has a little fuzzy on him. This splotchy cat that I don't really like. This other one, whose ear is kind of messed up, so I don't love him either, but he has socks, so that gives him some bonus points. And we have this little guy who's super squishy kitty. I like this one. I like this one. All of my cats are $20 a piece. Up next, we have some new plushies that I'll be bringing, and they are my espressos. This is a free pattern on Instagram. Very jelly cat, very cute. Mostly low sew. You have to sew on the espresso and the handle. Very cute. I'm selling all of these guys for $25. So I have that cream one. I have a pink one. And a blue one, whose legs are not lined up very well, which is making me angry. But I just have to move them a little bit and they're okay. Then we have 4 groovy flowers. This is a purple and pink one that I made on a live. My favorite one, it is Bernat Sparkle with some teal. And this one, which is Bernat Sparkle and the new Demi Pearl for these 2. Plus, my least favorite, this one with Bernat and the Demi Pearl and some variegated Bernat that has been evil to me and does not want to be crocheted with. So I thought it would be good to make it into a flower. It ended up working. I just don't love variegated yarns, and that's okay. But I sell all of my groovy flowers for $30. And that's section 1 of the video. Part 2, I plan on bringing some, not all, of my swinging pets. I think I have one of each. I have a white chick, dark teal frog, whose eyes look a little crooked. There we go. A mallard, pink axolotl, orange axolotl, and a penguin. The other 2 or 3 that I'm not bringing are my black axolotls, my teal axolotls, and my light colored frog. Pricing wise, I do charge $12 each. Moving on, we have some octopi. I think we have 5, which kind of seems like a lot. Purple. This is the Big Twist. Variegated. Blue and yellow. I have, I think, 4 more or 5 more in the other bin. Again, not bringing that. I plan on bringing 6 big turtles. We have this one. The classic. I'm going and bringing all of my baby turtles. So we have variegated, the dark green shell, another dark green shell with the sage with variegated shell, my favorite Sailor's Delight, and this little pink and sage one. I sell my big turtles for $27 a piece and the baby turtles for $17 a piece. Plus 2 other cats that I found. This is a Siamese one, another splotchy gray one. I'm bringing 2 opossums for $16 each. Squirtle for $38. My mom is mad and thinks I should be charging more. We'll see how well he does. We have Brewster from Animal Crossing. I'm going to be selling him for $22 because I really don't want him anymore. And it's coffee themed, so I thought it would be cute for the market. Psyduck for $25. I made this in my Share the Love challenge video up in that corner, I think. I'm going to be bringing 3 Junimos from Stardew Valley. I sell each of these for $20 a piece. I will also be bringing 3 little velvet crabs. This is my own no-sew crab pattern, and I sell each of them for $8. I also plan on bringing 4 baby axolotls. This is my Bernat blanket version that I sell for $17 a piece. We have orange in actual demi-pearl, to be honest, teal, gray, and the classic white and pink. Then we have some Studio Ghibli friends. I feel like Studio Ghibli will be well received closer to the cities because whenever I do markets more up north, people don't really know what Stardew Valley is. They don't really know what Studio Ghibli is. So I have my no face with the coins. Oop! My no face with the coins for $40. I know it's kind of a lot, but I think he's very niche, well made, and I think somebody will love him. Ponyo for $30. She probably should be a bit more expensive, but I don't really know. Totoro for $30. And lastly, I have Calcifer for $20. So that is all that I plan on attempting to shove on my table, and like some of the other display things I have that will be set up around my table. That is it. I will see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. because we have to leave at like 5:50 to get there before 7 so we can figure out where to park to unload the stuff and then move the car and find parking. So I'll see you at 5. Probably more like 5:50 when I'm loading the car and things like that. Yay. Yay. Oh, yay. Yay, markets. Yay. I get to make money, hopefully. Hopefully I will be making money. Hi, editing Anna here. I forgot to show you all 12 of the chickens that I brought with as well. And that sold really well. My apologies for that. You will see them in the finished display clip that I'm going to be playing next, but I forgot to show them to you. If you don't know, I use the Mabel chicken pattern by Oak and Marlowe, just like literally everybody else in the crochet community. I sold the chickens for $16 a piece. I brought with 12. I had 2 yellow, 2 cream, 2 yellow, 2 cream, 2 Oreo, and then I had this kind of color chicken, this kind of color chicken, and a different fuzzy one. Again, you'll see it in the video, but I forgot to say that, so I'm sorry. Home, you can see how shaky my hand is. Hello, I am back from the market, and I would say that it was a huge success, especially considering it was called a wee art market. My mom and I ended up leaving our house around 6 a.m. in order to get there by 7, which was like when we were supposed to be able to pull up our car to the alley, drop everything off in 5 minutes, and then find parking. That didn't happen because apparently there are 2 locations and we went to the wrong one at first. Luckily, the right one was only like a mile away. So we were like, let's just find parking and we'll walk the 2 blocks there. We have the wagon. You know, I'm not bringing a ton of stuff because again, I only get 1 table and it's just a small little thing. Thankfully, we did find free parking about 2 blocks away, like I'd said, and it was kind of in a more residential area. Totally free, no parallel parking for me, which ended up being like a really great spot because in the middle of the market, my mom had to go to my cousin's kid's birthday party, and so it would have just been me. It was me tearing down and bringing everything back to the car, and I made it all the way with all of my stuff back to the car in 1 trip. So it ended up being super easy. The first like 3 hours of the market were freezing cold. I decided to wear shorts and a t-shirt because I thought it's outdoors. It's still like really hot here. We haven't gotten into fall weather yet, even though it's October 1st. It's still disgusting out. So I was not adequately dressed for that morning cold weather. So I was freezing for like 3 hours until my dad got there to then pick up my mom, and he brought me a sweatshirt. But then by that time, the sun was just starting to be able to like go into the alleyway and hit me and my booth neighbor. So by then it was just kind of funny. I mean, we were laughing. Like, I put the sweatshirt on, but then I took it off like 10 minutes later because I was roasting. I mean, I'd rather be cold than hot. I was just a little cold for maybe just a little bit too long because, again, I was still getting over being sick, and then I felt sick still there and like the next day, because when you sit out in the cold, when you have a cold, maybe not the smartest thing to do. Anyways, obviously the market was 6 hours. It was from 8 to 2. Setup was from 7 to 8 because I was the first person to get there at 7. I was probably set up by like 7:45, again, because we didn't even get there right at 7 because we drove to the wrong place. But again, Setup was really easy. They had the table, the tablecloth, and the chair ready to go. I brought like maybe 5 wooden crate things and then a little stand that I could have next to the table, just because I thought the tables were going to be, I mean, it's only one table and I usually use like 2 to 3 tables, and so I wanted to bring a little thing that I could have on the side to display some of the other stuff so I could have a bunch of stuff out. My mom and I did end up being like the first people there, which was what was planned, but it was super fun to like finish setting up and then watching everybody else bringing in their stuff and setting up their displays and things like that. All of the artists did show up. There was one that was a little bit late, but my booth neighbor ended up being super, super nice. I feel like she was like my bestie at this market. We were all like cheering on for each other. She is an abstract painter, so she brought some originals and some prints that she was selling. Super, super cool work. I have all of the people that I'm going to be talking about listed in the description below so that you can go and support them. But her work is incredible. I wanted to touch her originals because they're like textured, but like obviously you can't, but I wanted to. I really wanted to. But yeah, it was super fun. I ended up buying 2 things. I bought this little patch to put on my own collage gallery wall. I bought this from Jackson Sews. I will have them linked down below. And I have to find it. This little card. It's a card. I'm not using it as a card. It again is going up on my gallery wall. But I got this from Ethereal Art by Court. They do prints and things. I think they were also doing some patches, jewelry. Got those 2 things at the market. There was a bunch of other cool stuff. There was an amazing jeweler, Sophie Kissin Jewelry, and there was a woodworker, different person selling stickers and prints. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. It was a super fun event. The event organizer under Open Skies was amazing. The guy that they had working there was super helpful, very nice. It was a really awesome event. We had access to nice bathrooms. We kind of had to go through like the coffee shop, which was, I mean, I felt a little bit bad like going into their kitchen and being like, hi, where's your bathroom? My mom ended up getting coffee from them and she said that was super good. I got a pumpkin spice and cream cheese bread, swirl bread something, and then there was also a French bakery that my aunt went to, and she let me have one of her peanut butter and jelly like donuts, and it was like a donut. The inside was like a donut with a hole in the middle. The inside was full of jelly, and then it was peanut butter on top, and then there was like these little like rock candy things on top that tasted like jelly as well. Amazing, but a huge mess. The whole thing was just like immaculate. And then near the end of the day, I think around starting at like 1 or 12:30, there was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different artists. There were some that were then doing like duets. And then at the end, it closed off with 3 of the artists doing some trios and things. But the music was awesome. I ended up staying until like the music was over. We were told that if we wanted to stay until the music performances were over, we could. All of us decided to because the foot traffic for it being a pop-up, not like a pop-up, but like a not, you know, a wee art market at a coffee shop where like all these people are just getting coffee and then coming over to look at our stuff was insane. Like it was busy sometimes. Like there were lines to go through. People were super, super fun and chatty, and it was great. Like it was seriously like almost a perfect market if I wasn't freezing to death at the start. But again, I love being cold. I love being cold. So I can't be that mad. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I got to see so many dogs. I got to see a real live Shiba. I got to see some pit bulls, chihuahuas, a gigantic like white fuzzy dog. I don't know what he was, but he had like hair because the guy said that he just got his hair cut the day before. I got to pet, oh, I can't remember the dog's name. I just got to see so many dogs, and like that's one of my favorite things about doing markets outside is all of the dogs that I get to see and pet. I also loved talking to everybody. People were super, super nice. I found a lot of people, like I had predicted in the last video, that knew Studio Ghibli. I did not sell any of the Studio Ghibli stuff, but I had a lot of people talk to me about Studio Ghibli. There was this one guy, he bought a bag from Jackson Sews and some other stuff, and he came by and talked to me all about Studio Ghibli and his hot takes for like 15 minutes, and he was just a riot. I absolutely adored him. He was telling me that he doesn't like My Neighbor Totoro because it's missing like the third and final act, because it's supposed to be this movie about grief or whatever, but then, spoiler alert, the mom never actually dies of cancer in the movie, and so he thought that it was like really hard to understand. And then he was telling me all this other stuff and this other show that I should watch, which is a K-drama or something if I like Studio Ghibli. It was amazing. Everybody was super fun, super happy. Even the guy that was hosting this event or helping host it, when he was doing like a little bit of emceeing for the musicians, he was thanking all the musicians, thanking the artists or whatever. He was looking, because I was like really right next to the musicians, and he was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy all those chickens. Or what did he say? It was like, I want to buy a chicken. He's like, no, I want to buy 3 or something like that. It was super funny. But it was super cute. I feel like we all were kind of each other's cheerleaders because there was only 8 of us. We just kind of got to like hang out, and I got to talk to people and stuff like that. Sophie, who made some of the most incredible jewelry ever that I really wanted to buy, but I knew that I needed to not buy because I have to start paying back student loans, came by and bought, I think it was a cream cat and a cream chicken. Court, who I bought the print from, I feel like they might have bought something, or they had a lot of friends that came and bought things. 2 of the singers that were performing, the very first one that opened bought my Siamese cat, and the other one bought a cream chicken for his little daughter that I got to see like walk up and like stand by him and dance while he was performing, so that was just super cute. Overall, an incredible event. I was dead tired by the end of it because I had to wake up at 5 or like 5:30-ish. And this time I did remember to take a video before I started tearing down, because I set an alarm for 2 p.m. to remind me to. So I'm very happy to be able to show you that. Other than that, I didn't get a lot of footage because I was just like enjoying myself, and I'm always really paranoid that my phone is going to die, and I really need to get, I feel like, a better sort of tripod-y thing for filming in public. Like, I have this, but like if you set it on a table, like it's at not a very flattering angle. Anyways, it was a super fun event, and it was very successful. As I drop my pen, during this, I'm gonna say like 6.5 hour event, I sold 30 plushies worth a total of $490. Subtracting the booth fee, which was $25, and like a $3 square fee, that means that I made like $462 at this 6.5 hour market, where I had an amazing time. I mean, I guess you could also subtract 15 for buying these things, but I don't think I want to, because those are for me, and I use my personal like account and money to do that, not the business one. So yeah, $462 in a wee art market where pretty much all the people that were attending were just people that were there getting coffee. There were a lot of people that were wearing U of M Gopher, I think it is, Gopher merch, because there was a game later on. I'm super happy. So let's go through everything that sold. My first sale was for 2 items. I sold a yellow chicken and my little gray tuxedo cat. I then sold a baby turtle for $17. Next, I sold 3 items to one person. I sold a chicken for $16, one of my watermelon for $13, and a rainbow for $10. Next, I just sold a cat for $20. Another 2-item sale for $26. I sold a swinging mallard and an octopus. I then sold a blueberry and a carrot for $20 to like this friend or couple. It was super cute. Another 2-item sale. I sold a chicken for $16 and a opossum for $16. I sold another cat for $20. Another 2-item sale. I sold a cat for $20 and a chicken for $16. Next, I sold the teal baby axolotl for $17. Then I sold a chicken for $16. Up next was another 2-item purchase. I sold a blue crab for $8 and a chicken for $16. The next purchase was for 2 items, and then she came back and bought another item. So she got the dark fluffy chicken for $16 and a turtle for $17. Then, I'll just say it, she came back again and bought the peas in a pod for $20. She was looking at them before when she was getting those other 2, and she just kept like going back and forth and was like, she's like, I'm gonna go grab my husband and show him, and then I might come back and buy these. And I was like, oh, like, are these for a gift? Are these for yourself or whatever? And she's like, no, they're for me. And I was like, I love that. And I told her she had to pick good names, and she was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And so she did end up coming back with her husband. She showed him like my booth or whatever, and she did get the peas in the pod. So huge shout out to her, because that was like a lot of money to spend, and I appreciate it. I then sold 2 chickens in a row. I sold a swinging penguin for $12. I sold the Siamese cat to one of the singers for $20. And then I made a $50 sale to this couple that was wearing matching red shirts and like denim. And I feel like they were maybe going to, I think it was like, I can't remember what his shirt was. I feel like they were going to the game, but like they weren't wearing the U of M team. They were wearing the team they were playing against. They ended up buying my red sparkle flower for $30 and a cat for $20. They had like come around before and looked at the flowers and were like discussing them, and I think the husband really wanted the cat. I don't know, but they then came back and bought both of those, and so I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. The very last thing I sold was a cat for $20. Obviously my cats were the best seller. Based on what I wrote, I sold 7 cats. Also, I would say that my chickens were a bestseller. I believe I brought 12 and ended up leaving with 3. So luckily when I was there, I brought some yarn to make chickens, and during the market, I ended up crocheting 4 chicken bodies in, I don't even know the name of the yarn, I'm sorry, and 4 more in the darker sort of version of this. I believe they're like a tweed. They're the Bernat tweeds. So I ended up crocheting 8 chicken bodies while there. So I was making money while making money. Thank you all so much for watching and for coming with on this market journey. I hope that my next market on October 18th goes as smoothly as this one did. If you have any questions, or if there's something that I missed, or if you just want to tell me what your favorite thing is that I've crocheted, leave me a comment. Let me know. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!